What's up? Hey, I mainly wanted to make this video because of a new lesson I've learned, specifically in the sales side of offers, and it stems from the closer's ability to close. Like, I'm used to working with closers that know what the fuck they're doing, and I'm used to working with team members that are not complete beginners. Like, they can adapt to offers rather quickly. They can get to a stabilized rate in 1.5 2 weeks, which is really good. Like, even if people say that they have like 1 week ramping periods, like for the closer to be fully dial in with all the potential objections, the common questions, answer all things about the offer, it takes time. It takes longer than 1 week. It takes minimum 2 weeks if the closer really does a lot of training and is really fucking good. But one thing that I consistently see is that closers, they shift a lot. No matter how good they are, they usually want to do it their way, which isn't bad at all. But what can happen is it can cloud their minds a bit with what the actual bottleneck is. Because I had a closer, like he's one of the top performing closers right now, and I love the guy. He's fucking insane at what he's doing. But I always try to give him like pre-qualified leads and stuff like that because I know he's able to close. But I decided, you know what, let me take a look at his calls, and I saw that, hey, there's a clear issue here. Like, this guy is extremely good at reframing, he's extremely good at making analogies, he's extremely good at getting the emotions up for people. But one thing that he wasn't doing on this specific call was he wasn't going deep on the objection. So, on the actual objection and figuring out why. So I think the guy, for example, in this scenario, the guy had he talked about like he was scared to invest and he was scared before, but now he's ready. And even if people do that, like it's like saying like, yeah, I'm not a pink elephant to everyone that I know. And I say that every day for a week, like, I'm not a pink elephant. Yo, mom, your dad, yo, little brother, yo, my friend, I'm not a pink elephant. And then they hear on the radio like, yeah, so one of the best Christmas presents is actually a pink elephant. They think, oh, pink elephant, that's Ted. Even though I said not to associate me with it, because I said it associates me with it. So even if they say like, no, I don't, like, I was scared before, but now I'm not, you know. But if they have a history of don't believing in risk and not being risk takers, then you still need to go and ask, okay, why? And then go deep and find the reason why. Because usually when you do that, the person says like, yeah, you know, like my eventually the person is gonna tell you something that you didn't have context on before. For example, yeah, you know, like my parents, they invested into this thing and lost like fucking 50K when they were young. And after that, yeah, I've never taken a decision fast again. And I've learned that from them. And then it's like, whoa. You told me you were gonna make a decision on the call, but now you're saying that you don't do that. And then they're like, yeah, like, oh, I can decide, but I'm not gonna make this decision today. And then that's like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Because what you do then is you do something so simple. You just ask, okay, why did that fuck up for your parents? And then they say, yeah, because they didn't have someone that told them, like, they did it all alone and they fucked up and they took the deal and it was shit. And then you just add, okay, so if you parents had someone that helped them, do you think they would have a less chance of fucking up? And the guy would be, yeah, no, of course. And that's okay. So if you go into this deal now, you're gonna need someone that helps you, right? Yeah. Okay. And if you don't, you're gonna fuck up the same way your parents did. And then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, when you put it like that, yeah, I kind of see how that makes sense. And then say, yeah. And if you do that and a bit of reframing, and a bit of analysis, and a bit of pushing on the guy, then he's gonna close. Then he's gonna so fucking easily close. Because reframes and analogies were good as long as you've handled the main objection beforehand. If you haven't handled the main objection, like, this doesn't matter how much they believe in you, how much they trust you, how much shit you say to them, they're still gonna how much you hide your emotions, because they're still gonna think about that specific fucking objection in their mind and say like, yeah, but I'm not gonna have to talk to my parents, you know. So, hey, getting deep on the objections is for sure one thing that I saw in this specific scenario. But this doesn't apply for all closers. This specific scenario, main thing to learn from this is even your top performing salespeople, you fucking need to review their calls. You need to figure out why they are the best and see kind of clearly what are they doing on the calls that other people aren't doing. And when you see that, for example, they have had, if they have a 30% close rate and they don't close like 7 calls in a row, then not only look at, okay, where the lead sheet, look at what happened on the calls and what was the reason for that they didn't close. Because then you might discover something like this. Like, this coacher is fucking insane at doing his work, but on these specific calls he wasn't going deep enough. And I was like, yeah, then just do that. And so hey, we're gonna get feedback on it and most likely close more people from it. And I know it's tough because some A players, some people that are really good, like they have egos, and they're supposed to have egos because they know what they're doing. Like, I don't want to change this guy's style of closing because he knows how to close. It's just I want to give him some feedback because I only care about making money. So if I'm right or wrong, I don't really give a fuck. I just want to make money. So if you put that frame on them as well, they're gonna be less resistant to actually implement what you're saying to them. So hey, this was like a 5-6 minute video, but I just wanted to bring it up because I know it's something that that happens on a lot of offers and that needs to be fixed. So yeah, that's that. See you in the next one.